Keith Manley, if he would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Is Reverend Chester Davis to lead us in a prayer, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our gracious Father God, us again that a few of your servants come before you and come in the name of Jesus. Being thankful, God, for how you blessed us with another day's journey. We thank you, God, that you allowed us to come not only for the business but the fellowship one with another. I pray now you touch the minds and hearts of our leaders, oh God, here in this room and also across our country and our nation. Bless our nation as a whole. We ask that you can help us conduct our business, oh God, in a sweet, gentle way. So we thank you for the ordinances and the things that will go forth this day. Bless us in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Now call this meeting of the Port St. Joe City Commission to order. Our first order of business tonight, if I'm not wrong, is going to be our swearing in ceremony. And our attorney, Mr. Clint Cahill, is going to do the swearing in tonight for us. And how do you want to handle it? Who do you want first?
It's up to you guys.
You're on the list there, Mayor.
I'll go first. I'm going to go first. Steve and Jennifer, y'all come down.
Raise your right hand and place your left hand on the Bible. I, James Bo Patterson,
I, James Bo Patterson,
do solemnly swear that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution and government of the United States, the state of Florida, and Gulf County.
yeah. You want to talk that mouthful down just a little bit there. I can't, sing your moments.
That I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution
I will support and defend the Constitution
and government of the United States,
and government of the United States,
the state of Florida, and Gulf County.
the state of Florida, and Gulf County.
That I am duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the state,
I am duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of the office of Mayor of Port St. Joe, Florida.
back up again. I got the I will for it.
And that I will
I will
well and faithfully perform the duties
well and faithfully perform the duties
of the office of Mayor of Port St. Joe, Florida,
of the office of Mayor of Port St. Joe, Florida,
on which I am now about to enter, so help me God.
on which I am not about now to enter, so help me God.
Congratulations. Commissioner Thursby?
That's all right. Get them all in there.
Raise your right hand and place your left hand on the Bible.
Thank you, sir. You didn't give me instructions like you did later.
I, William Parker Thursby, do solemnly swear
I, William Parker Thursby, do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support,
protect,
protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States,
the Constitution and the government of the United States,
the state of Florida, and Gulf County.
the state of Florida, and Gulf County,
That I am duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the state,
that I am duly qualified to hold the office of the United States
under the Constitution,
under the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties
that I will and faithfully perform the duties
of the office of Port St. Joe City Commission,
of the office of Port St. Joe City Commission,
on which I am now about to enter, so help me God.
and now which I'm about to enter, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Commissioner Ashby. solemnly swear
I, David Allen Ashbrook, do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States,
the Constitution and government of the United States,
the state of Florida, and Gulf County.
the state of Florida, and Gulf County,
That I am duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the state,
that I am duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of the office of
that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of
Port St. Joe City Commissioner, on which I am now about to enter.
Fort St. Joe City Commissioner, in which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
All right. Now we'll get on to other business. I'd just like to say, thank you everybody for being here tonight. If you do want to leave, you don't want to stay for the whole meeting, please feel free to do it, except you. No, go ahead.
Thank you, family.
All right, we have the June 6, 2017 regular meeting minutes, consent agenda.
Motion to approve, Mr. Mayor.
Motion approved by Commissioner Ashbrook,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Lowry. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. And just for everybody's information, Commissioner Razette is out of town tonight. All right. You ready, David? On the ordinances?
Yes, Mayor, what we have before us tonight is ordinance 534 regarding the parking regulations for downtown. I was instructed last meeting to go ahead and reinstate the prior language of section 5.07 of the land development regulations, which created that rectangle in town. You call for a public discussion.
Okay, call anybody from the public wish to speak on this tonight?
I'll make a motion, we move forward, if not, Mr. Mayor.
Do we need a motion for a first reading and permission to advertise?
That
We do both at the same time? All right.
would be my motion.
Second.
Motion Commissioner Thursday, second for Commissioner Ashbrook. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Ordinance 534, an ordinance of the City of Port St. Joe, Florida, repealing a section of the land development regulations of the City of Port St. Joe, providing for reinstatement of section 5.07, providing for repeal of all ordinance or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for severability, and providing for effective date.
All right. That's all for you?
No, actually, the next thing that we have, Mayor, is the CDBG procurement policy. At the last meeting, Mr. Ballister asked me to go over this and make sure there was no conflicts with our current procurement policy and that there was no problems with it. I have reviewed it, and I think it's fine, and he can go ahead and submit that.
All right. Good deal.
The next thing, Mayor, is the resolution 21709 regarding local preference. That was something that Commissioner Ashbrook brought up at the last meeting.
Mr. Attorney, one thing on the procurement policy, we need to make sure it's voted on. Approved.
Oh, okay.
Just make sure it's
Going back to the procurement policy, Mayor, we need to have a motion and a vote. Go ahead and accept this.
Motion to approve.
You got a motion from Commissioner Ashbrook. Second,
I'll
anybody?
second it.
Second by Commissioner Lowry. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. All right. Now the local preference.
And now, resolution 21709 regarding the local preference, regarding contracts awarded by the city. The one that is in your current packet isn't the one that isn't the final version. I added back some language dealing with the percentages and aspects of it. And what it basically is that the local responsible resident bidder comes within the percentage that's listed on the thing. They have a right within 5 business days to match that low bid.
Okay.
What is the change, council, from, the way it was?
The way it was is that we would just award, we could award the bid at that higher level. What we're doing now is we're making the local bidder, if he wants to get the bid, he's gotta come down and match that low bid.
I'm good with that.
All right, I'll make a motion to, do we need a reading or just a vote on this?
I can go ahead and read it, and you guys can make a motion and vote. Resolution 21709, a resolution of the City of Port St. Joe repealing Resolution number 208-200809, establishing a local preference policy and awarding of cities' contracts and providing for an effective date.
Motion to approve Resolution 2017-09.
Have a
Second.
motion by Commissioner Ashby,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Thursday. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries 4-0.
I think that's all I have for the moment.
All right. Jim?
Yes, sir. RFP 2017-07 for the city pier rehab. It was actually tabled at the last meeting for further review by staff. Me and Mr. Grantland actually had a conversation, actually met with Mr. George Ham, who actually is a proposed low bidder on there. He seemed to be familiar with the area, familiar with projects. He indicated he'd done some projects for DEP in the area. At this point in time, we would make a recommendation that we would move forward with Mr. Ham. A couple of things he will need, Mayor. He'll need longshoreman's insurance will be a requirement on there, and a business license with the city.
So move, with those requirements.
Got a motion by Commissioner Lowry, second?
I second.
Second by Commissioner
Well,
Ashby.
it's okay, I just would like to discuss.
Any further discussion?
Yes.
All right.
Mr. Grantland, are you fine with this low bid? And you've looked it over and talked to this guy, I know.
Me and Mr. Anderson met with
Y'all
him.
both did?
We did.
Y'all felt good about it? Okay.
Just one question, Commissioner. We got to figure out how we're going to pay for it. $30,000.
Well,
Manual
where's
lines,
it at?
huh?
It's at the city pier, right?
We didn't budget it.
It could be out of that.
I think we discussed about possibly using BP money is what we had talked about one time before, but it's not a budgeted item. Or you could actually use the boat ramp money,
That's
because
what
it
I'm
is in that area. That was another
That
discussion.
is boat ramp. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
you
what
could
it's
use
for,
the
and
boat
that's what my idea behind the boat ramp fees in the beginning was to use it for
That would be
that type of
perfectly
stuff.
fine.
So I'll make the motion that we move forward.
How much is
Before we
it?
go, how much
Well,
do we
you
have?
don't have anything in the budget for that, but you did have funds in the budget for the lighthouse that are capital items that could be reallocated.
Right, but what they were talking about using was that extra segregated fund that's segregated for the 7 parcels from the boat ramp money, the boat ramp fees.
Guys, I'd like to see us split that up, maybe half out of that. I don't want to wipe out the
Yeah, I
fund,
mean,
but if we did
Yeah.
half BP and half, I'd be more comfortable with that.
Yeah, we have 27,000 in
Yeah.
boat ramp funds.
I'm fine with that.
I'll make a motion that we take half and half right down the middle from boat ramp funds, the other half from BP funds, and that's my
Boat
motion.
ramp, okay.
All right.
Accept this bid.
We got a second motion on the floor.
Second.
It's fine.
Commissioner Thursby,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Ashbrook.
It's fine, I'm sorry.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yes, but-
All right. The next item we had on the agenda, Mayor, was the Commerce Park lot. The city attorney did do some research for us, and it looks like they are going to grant us a abandonment of that easement. Did have a conversation with our real estate agent to find out if the proposed buyer would allow us to crush the line. They want us to actually remove the line, so that's
How
a
much that
lot,
gonna cost?
a lot of work.
Look,
I have not put a dollar on that
Yeah,
removal,
it's-
but it's a lot more involved than what we had already.
you know, I'll be honest, I said this last meeting, I say we crush the pipe, we leave it up for sale, put a for sale sign on it.
Let the next
If
buyer
the
know.
next buyer can deal with it. I mean, we have been above and beyond to try to do everything we could to make this potential buyer happy, and there was some unforeseens that we didn't know about, and I think we're just going as far as we can.
I agree.
Yep.
That's what we do. See, the next item is in reference to R&R Entertainment. Mayor Patterson want to talk to you tonight about it.
As everyone knows, the gentleman came up at the last meeting and they want to have this concert, and I don't have a problem with the concert at all, but I have been asked by a couple of people to look into some of the lyrics that the singer uses, and see if we could ask Reggie and them maybe to tone it down just a little bit, with his words. And, the other thing I think all of us are concerned about is, security, safety. We've got, a lot of names on this sheet, but I don't know if any of them's got any security experience.
Yeah, they do got experience. Sidney Harris.
And he worked with the Department of Corrections, I know.
You got
Dusty,
Dusty Cruz. You got
You got 2 off-duty Gulf County deputies too.
yeah.
I got
Still got them?
I got Perez Davis. I got Willie Quinn. I got Des Baxton. I got Devin Baxton. And I got about 4 more on that.
And you have secured those 2 off-duty Gulf County deputies?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And he said y'all can call him.
Yeah, I talked with him already, and I told him if we needed to call him, we would. I think we can just do it through you. I don't think we need to talk to Reggie, really. We just need to make sure you understand this is something that I feel like could get out of hand in a hurry if we don't stay on top of it from the start.
Okay.
So I think as long as we control things from the very start, we can't have people piling up all around outside. This is an indoor concert.
Right.
It's not an outdoor concert.
Right.
And I don't know how many people may be coming to the concert, being it's somebody that's known. It's not just an unknown person.
Right.
I mean, we could be pulling them from Panama, Bluntstown.
Right.
I'm sure there's a fire code that you can only have so many people in the gym. Do we know what that is? The number of occupants that can be in the gym at one time? Do? 720?
Yeah.
Okay. And I would just like to make sure they have some kind of security when people come through. You can rent these little metal detectors.
Well, we're gonna have a strictly pat down search. No bags, no purse, no cups, no ice syrup, bottled drinks, and that's it.
Okay. Well, that was my concerns. If anyone else has anything they'd like to say about it.
I would suggest, you also just get a hold of EMS. Maybe they can have an ambulance parked there rather than at the barn.
Okay.
Just in case. I mean, a lot of heat casualties will happen on July 3rd.
Okay.
Anything else from anybody?
Everything.
All right, just like I say, relay to them that make sure we just
Yeah, I just got the phone.
goes off without a hitch.
All right. Okay.
Okay?
Thank y'all.
All right, man.
Thank you so much.
All right, Jim.
All right, the last item we had on was request at our last meeting to talk about the rezoning of Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Who's talking on that tonight?
I wanted to, Chester Davis, president of PAC, and also pastor of Philadelphia Primitive Baptist Church.
And Letha Matthews, just a concerned citizen.
Well, we wanted to head this up under the citizen to be heard. And one of the things we want to talk about, we're not coming for an argument or someone to give discussion on what our concerns were about the rezoning of Martin Luther King. One of the things we had done, we had submitted to the CRA the letter and the scope of what we were trying to do for the planning of Martin Luther King and other areas in North Port St. Joe. Our concern is that we had asked for the $20,000 in order to make that plan happen. Now, at the last meeting, what was stated, or someone made the statement, that the community as a whole might not be in support of what we were doing with the PAC. And I'm here tonight to say this right here to anyone who has an opposition, they need to stand and come to those meetings. We have had 5 meetings, and out of those meetings, we only had 3 of the commissioners that have been there consistently. Rex was there one time, and Mr. Ashbrook, you haven't been to any of them.
I've been to one.
Okay, well, the one with the voting rights. But my point is this right here. We have issues that North Port St. Joe need to be heard about. One of them is that we plan to rezone North Port St. Joe for the betterment of that place. We have had citizens that are very concerned. They show up at the meetings. if there's any opposition of what we're doing over there, then they need to come to the meetings and make their presence known, or their presence or statements about what they don't like or what they would like to implement. But we haven't had those acquisitions, or we haven't had anyone step forward and say, we don't like what you're doing. But behind the curtain, these statements are made. And I think it's ironic they'll be brought up when we are discussing things about the rezoning, and it's not brought before or brought into the open as to who these constituents are. We have tonight people that are here to support what we're doing. And if there's anyone that's in opposition of what we're doing, then they need to state their case. The other thing is that the citizens that has been supporting our agendas, we have had as many as 30 to 60 people show up for these meetings. And they're there in order to support what we're doing for North Port St. Joe. And the reason they're doing that is because there's not one person that's involved here. We're talking about the entire North Port St. Joe. History has shown that this area has been allowed to become blight, and we, as a city, has not done anything about it. We're almost like we're blind to it. So we have come forth to really redevelop our city, and we need the city support to do that. And so with the statement I made that who are your constituents, who are there to support? Well, if you look behind me, then we have some support. And when it comes to the next CRA meeting, we're going to have some more support there in order to show that, you know, it's not just Chester Davis standing before the board saying what we want. This is a community that needs the city support. You know, I don't want to just say I'm tired of coming, because I'm not going to get tired. But I think it's time that we wake up to the point that North Port St. Joe is part of the city of Port St. Joe. We're not separated, we are part of it. So when we have these issues about what we need to do over there, we don't want Band-Aids. We don't want Band-Aids, we want some solution. We understand that the other funds just come in for the infrastructure, and we understand that's coming. But there are so many other issues that have not been addressed by the city, and we're not aiming at anybody. Like I said, this is not an argument. It's just some support that we really need. We went to Tallahassee this past week, and we had a tremendous, awesome meeting about how we can develop North Port St. Joe with help with the CDC. Big Ben has agreed to partner with us, that we'll be able to bring in our own revenue. All we need out of that right there, if they're going to partner with us and show us how to bring in funds to North Port St. Joe, all we needed was the city to what? Bless us with the funds in order to set the plan in motion. And this plan is about $20,000. Actually, it's a lot more than that, but we're getting it done for the $20,000. Now, with that comes a plan, because it has to be rezoned in order for us to get the density that we need. So we have done what the CRA required us to do. We went back and we talked to the city manager. We got some ideas from him, and so we went forth with that letter. So now we want to be able to go ahead with our planning so we can get some funds coming into North Port St. Joe. And I believe our mayor, he was at the meeting, and he can attest to the things that we're getting ready to do. And like I say, it's on its way. All we need is the blessing from the city. And like I say, I'm not asking for a vote tonight. I'm asking that we be in support of that when we come back at that CRA meeting on the first Tuesday in the following month.
Well, this will be on Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be on
Thursday.
Thursday because July the 4th.
It's going to be on
Yes,
What is that, the 6th?
the Thursday.
Yes.
yes.
Same
July
time,
6th.
4:30.
Okay, 4:30. Okay, right here.
Yes.
Okay, I'll get that information out. But like I said, that was one of the things we wanted to understand about. When we have our community meetings, or when we have our events, we make sure that everybody's invited so that we can hear their opposition or hear their issues. If they're not satisfied with what we're doing, then we ask for their help. Maybe there's something that we want to implement that they can add. Like I said, we asked the city commissioners to be there. Some have come, some have not. But I think in order for you to see what we're doing, you need to come and see who's there, so we can identify our constituents and know who they are and who's supporting this thing and who's not. And if there are people that are not supporting what we're doing, they need to come forth and make sure that we are clear as to what they want, opposing what we're doing. You have any?
Yes, we're not always right, okay? We need for the citizens to tell us, okay, we need to steer in a different direction. We listen to those people, okay? And then you, Commissioner Ashbrook, you asked, where are the people? So there are the people, okay? There's some of them. There's a lot more that could not get here. And they're supporting us. And that's all I gotta say. But I thank you, commissioners, for the new air condition and the, well, last night was awfully hot when we had our meeting, but today to issue out the food, it was cool and the people enjoyed that. So I want to give thanks.
Good,
to
good.
You guys.
Glad it happened.
Okay,
Glad it
yeah.
happened.
We are too.
And again, before I sit down, I really want to make mention that our mayor was at that meeting, and the people in Tallahassee said it was very unusual.
Yes.
Very unusual for a mayor to come that distance to support a certain portion of the city. And the things that we discussed was very vital to what we're going to try to be doing in Northport St. We were shown exactly how a CDC was started, how Frenchtown was redeveloped, not only moved from Frenchtown but to Quincy, even to the point where they're now developing schools and stuff like that. And these people are saying, we're willing to partner with you in order that the same thing we have done in Tallahassee, Quincy, and those areas, we will help you do it in Port St. Joe. And so, again, I'm saying to the commissioners that's part of the CRA, we need your support in order to get this done, because we will redevelop North Port St. Joe.
Jobs will be coming in. Believe that. Jobs will be coming in to Port St. Joe.
Thank you.
I'm so accustomed to saying North Port St. Joe. I'm right.
I did attend a meeting up there the weekend, and it was a fantastic time. Met some wonderful people. Mr. Tom Lewis was the main person that I met, and then there was this lady, and I can't remember her name or the other guy's name, but
Regina Davis.
Regina Davis. And what was the young man's name? You remember? Rob. But anyway, they're doing fantastic things around the city of Tallahassee and in Quincy, and now they're moving over to Havana. And, you know, they had people come there to talk to us about they want to give out money. They want to loan money. And this one girl, she said she started just because of blighted area, and you should see the area she's redone. Bought property, tore old houses down, built new houses for family to live in. They turn around and buy the house, got equity in the house, and I mean, it's just a wonderful thing to see. And I would just love to see North Port St. Joe go in that direction. And so they know I'm committed because I've seen what can be done firsthand, and it's a lot. So, anyway.
I would like to say something on that real quick. I just to let the community, the people out in the community know that I'm in total support of this. I've been on board from day one. I'm still in support of it. I won't back down, and I'm only one vote, but my vote will be to give the $20,000 for this. And the buck stops right here with this board right here. That CDC board, CRA board, that we are that board. In the final book, this board, this commission gives the final vote on that. And they definitely will on this one, I promise you. And that's all I got.
Come on up.
Amy Rogers, concerned citizen, Gulf County United, Community Development, Gulf County NAACP.
I can't hear you.
I said Amy Rogers,
Right.
Gulf County Citizen, Gulf County NAACP, Gulf County United Corporation. I'm just Amy. I'm not, I'm standing up for some information. I am not against the PAC. I just want to make it very clear that we need to have a workshop so the people, citizens of North Port St. Joe who live there can understand the significance of a CRA and rezoning. They need to know the purpose of what rezoning mean. They need to understand where we are now with the current CRA. It taken a long time, a long process to get the Port St. Joe Redevelopment Agency to come together to include North Port St. Joe into the boundary lines. And we started that with Mayor Pate, and we wind up and finished that with one of the mayors. The city was divided, as you would call, because some people just didn't understand the purpose of rezoning, and the individuals that own property on Martin Luther King. At this present time, I understand that the issue concerns Martin Luther King. Each one of those property owners has to be notified that there is a rezoning going on so they could have an input. So I'm saying that there's a lot of education that needs to be brought out so people can understand. Some folks might say that the city of Port St. Joe have not done nothing or little. Yes, we have. We stated in with Florida State University, came in with from the Urban and Regional Development Planning Council. Jesse Ball DuPont, it was published in the paper, provided a $124,000 grant to educate and inform the people of the value of their property and what they could do with it, and whether they want to initiate, to start a combined CRA or establish their own CRA. At that time, when those people was educated and find out how many years it'll take before they can accumulate any money to be spent in their community, and how long it take, what it would do, and then what all we have paid in from North Port St. Joe. See, some of this need to be discussed in a workshop and have some documentation so the people can be educated and understand again if they want to go over in this process. Because over the period of time, you don't have a lot of development. Now you just have about 2-3 new developments going over in North Port St. Joe. But we had to go through all this process to bring the community together and have a CRA included, North Port St. Joe along the waterfront property, and all to be included in the enterprise zone. So to make a decision without notifying the individuals that who have property, because some people have there's residential property as well as commercial property along Martin Luther King. So if somebody might want to.
They might be able to sell their property if they want to sell it.
But I'm saying.
They don't want to go along with the program. They got people that buy their property from them.
Absolutely, but they need to be notified.
Oh, sure.
See, they need to be notified. So it is not something that, you can make a decision on. Right. Each person that owns property, and this is what we went through that scenario. We went through property by property, work right with the city. We work right with the city because I'm not.
We're getting off what we're
No. What I'm just saying that we need to be educated in a workshop.
I promise you
Okay,
we will.
we'll set up a workshop for it so people can be informed. That's all. Just for this issue, they need to be informed.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
We're not gonna argue about this, but we have had 4 workshops. We have had 4 workshops.
Yeah, I've been to every one of them.
We have had 4, right, and our mayor has been to every one of them. And what I'm saying is these issues have never been brought up at these workshops. When we started this out, we informed every landholder in the city of Port St. Joe about what we were trying to create. We have meetings, and I can have document proof where we had people, landholders, and all our stakeholders that come to these meetings and state their concerns. So they have been educated, they have been given knowledge about what we're doing in North Port St. Joe. Right now, what we're trying to do, we send a letter to the CRA explaining the rezoning and to the boards to the events that we're having. We're bringing up this every time in order that everybody will know exactly what we're doing. So what we like for you to do, if you have these issues, come to the events, come to the workshops that we're having and voice your opinion so that we can be able to discuss even your needs.
All right. All right.
And I know 85% of the landowners on Dr. Martin Luther King has been informed. I being one of them, Lynn Peters being the other, and Danny Bowman, and there's one that I'm missing, Johnny Bryant and Dresbach. These people have been informed about what we want to do and the rezoning that we want to take place.
Thank you.
So 85%, only the percentage, I don't know.
All right.
Anybody else want to speak?
thing I wanted to say, Mr. Mayor.
Hold on one second.
At the last meeting, I mean, I know you spoke up and said you were on board, and so did I. I mean, we've started this process. We spent $20,000 a year ago, and I don't want to stop there. So I just want the board to know that I'm on board with the 20,000, and I'll be prepared to make that vote.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
Come on up.
Pastor Walter P. Henry. I'm not from Port St. Joe, but I pastor a church here in Port St. Joe. And I hope that y'all have a zoning board that I know a zoning board that have to, when zoning is being done, the board approve that zoning. Now that, so more likely y'all put out a sign wherever y'all rezoning, that folk will realize that y'all are this property is going to be rezoning. Then it's still question types what for, the reason, what is it, what it's going to affect. And most times probably what most folks is probably talking about what it's going to affect. It's going to affect my resident in a way that I'm not going to be able to do what I need to do on my property. And that's a good thing to know. But I'm glad to be here, and I'm a part of the. Right now, I'm a part of St. Joe, and I hope that everything will work out for St. Joe. And I knew a little bit about it when I was a young fella. I hung over this way. I stay in Panama City, but we are. It's just something that folks are. It's time to folks to be heard, speak their opinion. Everybody have an opinion. Everybody have a way that they want to do things. And like I said, I've just come out of commissioner meeting today. I try to go to everyone, and this thing we need to do. If we want to be heard, we got to. As I heard Elder Davis said that most time y'all seen him, but now you see more folk that's coming to let you know that they are interested in their city. And I know every commissioner should be interested in the city, not just one part of the city. Whatever part they're in, it don't make no difference. It's not their zone or their area. They still should be interested into the city. And that folks is getting tired of seeing things just go down. And I think y'all should be the same way. Y'all should want something to happen in Port St. Joe. We're working on the same thing in Panama City, trying to get it built back up. I know if you don't do something, after a while everything will leave here, and somebody else go volume out of that what you should have had, but you didn't want to make any process to do whatever it takes to do that. And sometimes it's not going to take just the residents of St. Joe. Money is not going to always come right here, but when folks start coming in and planning into St. Joe, I think y'all will see what. And I think sometimes we will think a little better. So we want to let you know that though I'm in Panama City, you probably see my face.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Jim, under our regs, we're gonna have public hearings on it when it comes before us later, but, is there anything in our regs as far as signage goes?
Well, the first thing normally when you have a rezoning is you have a requested rezoning, what your zoning you want to go to. That I don't know if you've gotten that far or not, Mr. Davis, on there, but right now by our code right now, the highest density we have is an R4, which is 30 units per acre with a 60-foot height limit. So I'm not sure so that's the first thing that's got to be decided is what kind of zoning you're actually asking for the board, and you'd have an application, and that would go to Miss Marina Pennington does most of those large-scale plan amendments. But with those, you'd have planning board meetings, you would notify the public, would be meetings before this board on there. But that would be the first thing that determines exactly what you're wanting to do and what kind of zoning would be appropriate for Martin Luther King.
Right, and that's where we're at. We're
Yeah.
planning, and we're using these events that we have to notify the public as to exactly what direction we're going. And at the same time, we're not dissing any property or stakeholder on. We're asking them to be involved, because when we do this, we want it unified. We want, every property should be, adhered to, so that we won't do anything to violate someone else's space or whatever. So that's why we want to do it, a plan for it first, and then we're going to bring it back again to our city manager to get his input even before we go any further.
All right.
Thank
All right.
you.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Now, we're gonna go right on into, we'll go right on into citizens to be heard. Anyone out in the audience wish to be heard tonight?
I want to, Amy Rogers again, I want to thank the city commissioners we talked in February about the sidewalks on Avenue D. I want to thank you again. Thank you, Commissioner Ashbrook, Thursby, to following it through, making sure it happened.
Sorry it took so long, but I have to tip my hat to the guys. They did a great job over there for us.
If it ever stops raining, we'll finish.
Thank you so much, John, and your group. I mean, you've done a very outstanding job. Thank you for sticking on it. And we find that, you can do it within the city. We didn't have to get an outside contract or anything like so.
They did a good job.
Thank you for that. I'm working with the Fennell family to still follow up on the momentum for the past city commissioner, Alton Fennell, creating that memorial. We are working together on that. Just want to know the status of the repairing the fence, tennis court fence. Just bring that up tonight too. Keep that on your agenda. Thank you again, John, for having the softball field at Peters Park graved, fixed up for the children to play. Thank you very much for that. We requested that in February, and that's taken care of. And they're playing every Sunday. We invite you all to come over there on Sundays if we're not distracted with the rain or other weather. They play 5 o'clock. The children within the community plays the softball. So thank you for all our requests, and as we move forward, I bring it to your attention about things that needs to be done. And again, we thank you all, city commissioners, and everybody that work with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else wish to be heard tonight? Come on up.
On this subject or any subject?
You can
Any
speak
subject,
on
any
this.
subject. Whatever you came for. The subject you came for. State your name and address.
Good evening, Commissioners. Philip Carroll, Renee Carroll, 219 Reed Avenue. We're owners of Bay Breeze Antiques, and we're here to discuss the parking issue down on Reed Avenue. And since moving our business and purchasing 219 Reed Avenue in April of 2015, we've experienced a constant struggle with our customers finding adequate parking. And it really all boils down to the fact that we have fellow retailers that actually are taking up anywhere from 3, 4, up to 6 parking spaces.
40% of the parking. 40% of the parking.
That's what we've actually took a little survey several times and got to know the other cars that were responsible from other retailers, and then and the employees. And it's about 40% of the issue ongoing, off-season and tourist season is upon us. And if we've had the growth we've had the last couple of years, it's only going to get worse. So we're not really here. You guys all understand we have a parking issue.
I think we've all spoken to you guys individually on it. I personally have picked up 6 women off the sidewalk that have tripped because they have to park all the way down 4th or all the way down where you used to be and trying to get to Peppers or the Nails or Provisions or even my shop, that they have fallen because so far these are elderly. We have elderly that walk over to Hannon, they pay in person. there's employees that park on Reed Avenue, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know, for 6 to 8 hours in front of my shop. At the same time, my customers are telling me, oh, God, I would have loved to come to your shop, but there was no parking.
We circled, or
We circled 3 times, and oh, God, I wanted that bed so badly.
And guys, commissioners, if you take 15-minute shopping experience, that's 4 per hour. We have employees from other shops parking in front of our shop.
Us.
That's 4 per hour, for example, times 8 hours. That's 32. You do the math. We're talking 128 potential customers each day. If all 4, we have 4 spots in front of our building.
That we ask kindly, just don't park there, and it's a constant. It's a constant. People are getting hurt from having, and mostly the elderly. We have children. We have people that are getting kids out of car that can't do it. It's a free-for-all. People are backing up because there's, oh my God, there's an open spot. I almost got hit from someone backing up because they saw someone's reverse lights go on. I'm walking across to my provisions that I go 6 times a day, and this guy almost hit me because he was so concerned about. I've never heard of small-town America where employees park for 6 to 8 hours in a small community parking lot. I know ourselves. I have parked on Williams so that I could walk around to get into my store. And these folks are 25-year-old strapping young men walking from their car, crossing the sidewalk, getting into their restaurant. It's ridiculous.
And we open at 10:30, so we're there around 9:45 to 10 o'clock. Not that early in the morning.
There's plenty of parking on the
But
side
we
roads.
always find down 4th, down 3rd, down 2nd, side streets, there's open spots. Turn and walk on Reed. 40% of the Reed Avenue's already filled up, and it's all employees and retailers. And so we went into defensive mode a couple of years ago, and it took me months to speak to the restaurant across the street where every waiter has a car, and every waiter wants to see their car from their window there, obviously. Give me my 4 spots. Please respect that. I don't care if you don't respect your own business. I'm in business to make money here and serve the community. And if you want to park in your spot and there's no ordinance, then that's up to you to block your customer from getting in your store. But we keep it open. If we're getting out of there pretty quickly to load something and get going to the next delivery or whatever the case may be. But guys, it's just common courtesy and common sense. You shouldn't clog your neighbor's parking spot for 9 hours without moving the damn car and block potentially 32 people from going into your shop. And then when I approach someone,
He's
I've
been shoved, pushed, called the mayor, called the sheriff.
What are you, the sheriff?
Sheriff. It's just ridiculous.
It's just common, and it lasts a day. And now the reason we're here, and we put it off for quite a while, trying to see if some type of resolution would come. Number 1, the tourist season's coming.
It's here.
And number 2, we have a new business that's open directly across from us, in between the Nails and Pepper, and
we spoke with
now
them
we have
very
6
kindly.
more cars. 2 ladies who work there at the desk. They go out for 30 minutes for lunch, and then they're back in front. And then we have
a spot back when they come back. Surprise.
No, it's somebody buying products from my stores who park there.
Hopefully.
But hopefully, but the thing, Bo, is that now we have contractors. I think they're subcontractors, and so I know a couple of guys. We've spoken to them. Hey guys, gosh, it's been a struggle
Very
for 2
kindly.
years. If you don't mind, if you're going to be here more than an hour or so, there's nothing on ordinance, there's no statute or anything. Could you just, our 4 spots? I've given up on Reed. I'm just defending our 4 spots. And, it lasted 1 day. I counted today. 6 cars from this new business.
That business alone.
So that's why we're
8
here tonight.
from-
Because
from
you
the
know,
restaurants.
if the next, another retail shop is occupied, that's empty now, down the street, are they gonna have 8? 12?
You
Come on,
know,
let's get
we,
it
y'all,
to
we do have to do something. And Jim, we, we,
employees off read.
can we just, we need to start somewhere. Can we draft a letter, get Clinton to help us draft up a letter, send to all the business owners, ask them, before we put an ordinance on the books and we start writing tickets to people that are parked there for longer than an hour or what have you, and we have to get to that point, to be respectful of business owners. I'm getting calls all the way down the street at the very end, Anchor South. They're dealing with people that's got businesses across the other street. I've went and talked to some of these owners myself. We got to do something to help these people. And it's not just the Carols. It's all up and down. And not all up and down, but I've had about 3 to 4 big businesses that have come to me. Now, I'm sure everybody has a problem, but we need to do something. But if we could just send a letter out to all business people, no employee parking at all on Reed Avenue, period.
Done.
And it's not a large portion of the retailers, I'm serious. Most people respect people to the left of us and right of us. I mean, but until there's something on the books, guys, what happens?
Well, you would think it would be common sense, like you said,
You
though,
would think courtesy.
but it's not. So,
Didn't we have somebody go by all there one time?
Yeah,
Did
Bill
Richie
and,
go by and talk to him?
The chamber did it too one year.
Yes, I think Mr. Kennedy actually did, and we've tried to speak to it, and it'll last about a week or so,
No,
but
no.
people go back to the same habits.
well,
We got 2 issues here. I mean, where are they all gonna go? I mean, in
well,
park.
that's true. And we
Third
do gotta-
Avenue and 4th Street,
Hey,
there's
Brett, I
plenty
think
of
it's like
parking. There
Fill
really
the
is.
side streets up first. and-
But then, I mean, we've got other businesses that are coming in and opening up too, so, I mean, we've got a
We
big
got
problem.
to do something. We got to
something
purchase
about
some property or something.
So
But,
we-
you know, it's kind of aggravating sometimes, though, because you're right.
Yeah.
But sometimes I can ride down Reed Avenue in our Billy Joe Rich parking lot over there that we've already got, and the Dr. Joe's
Yeah.
parking lot back there.
Yeah,
Nobody uses those.
Maybe signage or something.
I don't know. We tried that, I think.
Well,
I think that's what you need in view of the current situation that you have right now. Why not put some signs along the road that say overflow parking?
Public
on-
parking.
Overflow parking on 3rd and 4th, and then also you got, I know you open up a parking lot, we call it old service station, that's right across from the ice cream, that's behind Sisters.
Yep.
You got an overflow.
They don't need to park there very much longer.
I wouldn't count on that one.
I think he fixed the fence up for a long time.
The city open up that park?
No, that's
No.
privately owned, yeah.
Privately owned.
But I
I've-
think some signs need to go up there. where it
Well, I
goes
think the
from-
first step is to try to get
A letter.
employees not parking on Reed.
And, you
I
know,
know
we
down
just
on
do
Main
it.
in the street, I counted 4 cars today that I know were people that were in restaurants or in other businesses, and they just parked right there. And even,
Where were the employees parking?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll tell you one place, right down there on First Street. First Street, nobody hardly ever parks on First Street, right there, if you turn right on First off of Reed, there's 4 or 5 faces there. Why they don't park there, I don't know. I mean, me, I wouldn't want to park my truck in front of my place of business all day long.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I'm taking up spaces for my people.
Right. All right.
So we're gonna work on it.
In the meantime, Mr. Carroll, you can't run off people that are parking in front of your place.
We
Those
asked,
aren't your
well, they
forced-
just opened,
those
so
aren't
we
your
kindly
forced
went up to
spaces,
them.
though.
I mean,
This is
I walk-
courtesy,
Yeah.
very kindly said to them. And I'm gonna add one other thing. We need a little bit more presence downtown. Skateboards, bicycles on sidewalks, flying. We're not talking strolling, we're talking
No, they ain't
flying.
supposed to be on there.
we know that.
And I know we're not, it sounds
We're
like our
not
whole
the police
plan.
of Reed Avenue, and I feel sometimes like we are, but we need a little bit more presence and tickets handed out. Warning ticket, because I see a couple of people that do it every day, and every day you're gonna hurt somebody, and they keep going.
I mean, believe it or not, our whole clientele are not the elderly, but a couple of weeks ago, I had an elderly lady looking at what she purchased, walking out of her door, almost got a free bicycle.
No one's gonna expect anyone
What we do
driving.
about that, Chief?
I
What we
believe
do
there's
about
an
that?
ordinance, but I don't believe there is a penalty.
For riding bicycles on sidewalks?
Well, there's signs on every corner that says
There's
on
no
no
signs,
bicycle.
no
And there is an
skateboarding, no
ordinance
biking.
against it, but there's no penalty.
I believe so.
We may have to look into putting a penalty to it.
We're just trying to make it safe downtown. I mean, we're not, if
Convenient for our
yeah,
customers.
customers in front of my store all day, they could sit there for 10 hours, I could care less. But a waiter sitting out in front of my store for 8 hours. I'm 58 years old.
I
These
mean-
are 25-year-old strapping young men.
We,
Parked in front of me
we have
for 8
we have
hours.
some regular customers from over, for example, in St. George Island that came in a few days ago. I was here a couple of weeks ago, wanted to pop in to see that dresser I was looking at, but I couldn't find parking. Well, we still have it. I got it over at Tiffin's.
We're
You're
losing
costing
money.
your business people money here.
Yeah.
We
Period.
just gotta figure out a way to do it. I mean, and we got more
You know
businesses
the
coming in
cars.
on Reed.
You know the
There's
got
no
cars.
three
incentive
more
for other
businesses
businesses to
coming.
plump down the kind of money it takes to get
Yeah, but we just
started
gotta
if you're
make
gonna
sure that the
cut your parking
the
off.
employees, make sure the employees don't park there. That's where we got to drive the nail at.
Yeah,
In their head.
ordinance.
And-
Small town America. And I'm gonna throw one more thing. There is still a double yellow line in the middle of Reed Avenue, is it not? So we're not allowed to make U-E's on this double
Oh,
yellow
no, you're not
line.
supposed
Well, we've been preaching
Okay,
that
just
for
checking
years.
on that.
Yeah.
They do it all the time.
Yeah.
Every hour.
Yeah.
Down
Every
at my
hour.
old office, there's a sign right there. They see it, time they turn around, they don't care.
It's crazy.
Because they get away with it. And I agree with you there. We should do something.
We need tickets being, okay, you
to
know
make
what,
these
Port
people
St.
know
Joe
you
is
don't
really
turn
watching
around
us.
on Reed, you know?
For a
You go to the
parking
end, you go to
space.
Third Street, whichever, and go out.
Okay.
Well, one other issue, we've taken up enough time. First of all, we'll work with you on that end as
Whatever
a
you need
retailer.
from us.
Because we have neighbors that respect this, they understand, they get it. Some people just don't get it.
They don't care.
That want to park right in front of their,
What's the other issue?
okay. You have handicap parking spots there, totally useless.
If they don't have a sign, they use.
Put a sign up.
Why is
What's
there
the
no
wait?
sign?
Why don't we put signage?
You have two.
We've
and,
had the
and
law
everyone
en-
parks there. And
The
there's
new
no,
ones we put up by sisters, we put signs up, right?
there's two
What
on
we need
Reed.
to do, John, just order a couple more.
Gotta make sure there was.
Enough adequate space, I believe, with it, Mr. Graham, that it was on the ones on the side streets, you have plenty of room that's ADA compliant for a wheelchair to be able to get in and out of, but I believe the issue wasn't, we didn't have enough space to be able to do it, and the
I
sign in
think I would
front.
have to revisit
We'll,
it. I
we'll be
think
happy to look at it.
Okay.
But I think
One
we-
in front of Provisions and one in Ramsey's, and that's one of the favorite waiter parking spots. So, and I don't care about who it is. I mean, I just have experience.
It's not
with-
personal, it's just business.
It's not personal.
I
mean, if
understand.
it's Pakistani way,
I do.
or
We're gonna
whatever,
get on it.
Doesn't matter. You know, it's just.
I
there's no
promise you,
reason-
we're gonna work on it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It won't
Thank
happen
y'all.
overnight, but we're gonna get started.
Okay.
Thanks for
you
your
very
time.
much.
Thank
Yes,
y'all.
sir. Thank y'all for coming. Anyone else from the public wish to speak tonight? Any other citizen? All right, I'm gonna go around the horn here right quick, Larry.
One thing I will tell you is that our electrician will be leaving the 23rd. He's taking a position.
Which electrician?
Jason Mathis.
Who?
Jason Mathis,
Okay, he'll leave and when?
23rd this month.
Okay. So we need an electrician.
Correct.
When we'll start advertising?
It's already been advertised. It's already.
Already? Okay. All right, anybody have anything for Larry?
I'm good.
Thank you,
John.
Larry.
No, we're flushing. Let's speak about that for a moment. We're through the transmission main at the beach. We'll be finished here in town tomorrow. We're pushing out towards Sacred Heart and Mainstay area. And that'll complete town. So we're working now towards the west and should finish Over Street. Everything hopefully should be done by the end of next week. That's what we're shooting for.
Good.
Okay, thank you, John.
Anything else?
That's it.
Anything for John? All right.
We've gotten our playground equipment in. We're scheduled to start construction on the playground at Duder Park on the 19th.
Sounds good.
All right. Kevin?
We were audited by DEP, fine, so we're in good shape.
Good deal.
All right.
What's our levels looking like?
Miss Charlotte. Miss Charlotte, you have anything?
No, sir.
Half a foot.
No?
We're 3.5 feet, freeboards.
Hold on 1 second.
I need to ask y'all a question, since I've been in St. We're under the Board of Commissioners and Mayor and all the anticipations, but I noticed since I've been in St. Joe, I wonder why do y'all have so many little separate manholes, sewer manholes in front of all these people's houses? If somebody did some bad engineering work, or somebody didn't find out how deep they need to put the sewer, where y'all did not.
What area are you speaking about specifically?
I've seen some on E Avenue. I've seen some on all of the streets, and I just wonder why everybody have their own lift station.
Well, Avenue E and F, it was partly to do with the existing utility, the sewer system when it was built, and the elevation's not working out. So there are two streets in the city of Port St. Joe proper, Avenue E and F, that have low pressure on it. But those are, again, a direct result of the infrastructure they had in place at the time.
Is anybody planning on changing that, doing something different? I don't know who it's costing to operate these stations. I don't know, is it costing the property owner or the city paying the electricity bill?
The city is.
That's a good thing, because I sure wouldn't want to pay it. I would not want to pay it.
I want you to look at all the pretty stuff we got in Port St. Joe before you just stare at those manholes and drive yourself crazy over that.
Well, they're just ugly.
I know.
Yeah, if you go put them somewhere, they need to be ground level. It just say, it was in front of my house. I wouldn't like it. It need to be ground level. That's what they started doing with station. They took them from top of the ground, they put them under the ground, where they could, make things look more beautiful. And you had to send in and look at a station sitting up there somewhere. I just had that question to ask y'all. I just wondered that why, because I kind of figured it was some bad engineering work. Somebody didn't.
Somebody in 1932 couldn't get it right.
All right, thank you, sir. All right. Okay, Commissioner Lowry, you have anything?
Congratulations to you three.
Thank you, Brett.
That's hard work. That's all I have.
All right, Commissioner Thursday. I skipped you. Thursday,
That
we're
was
going
wrong.
that way and back.
I want to thank everybody that showed up tonight, and I also want to give a special thanks to my old school teacher, Miss Lois Bird, in the back there. It's good to always see you, and I love you, Miss Bird. And that's all I've got.
All right, now.
Can I go now? Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Chester, I just wanted to apologize if I've ever come off that I was not a supporter of the PAC. I love the concept. I think it's a great idea. I always try to make people think about, these are some of the hurdles that we might run into. One of those being money. The CRA runs out of money in the next 2 years, I think. We sunset. So we can keep handing that out, but then it's done as far as that pot of money goes. So, again, I just want to make sure that we're thinking about how are we going to sustain this organization and this project years and years after the money dries up from the CRA. You've got my support on the project. By all means, I do support it. We need anything that's good for any part of town is good for all of it. We bring jobs, it's good for everybody. So I just wanted to make sure that you all understood that. Thank you. That's all I have.
All right, I'd just like to say I'm happy to be starting another 2 years as your mayor. First 2 years was a kind of a learning experience. I've got some ideas for the next 2 that possibly save the taxpayers some money. And I look forward to working with each and everybody here in the city of Port St. Joe. And with that, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
So moved.